Hey there, chatters. I'm Nat.
And I'm Kat, and welcome to the Crime Chat. I am your forensic femme fatale. Natalie is your true crime addict connoisseur.
We're just two normal girls obsessed with dark crimes, evil minds, and occasionally the unknown.
And here's your disclaimer, chatters. The following Crime Chat contains adult content and will have descriptions of really kind of sad and mysterious, not so violent scenarios today. But either way, your listener discretion is advised.
You've been warned, and before you get into today's Crime Chat, Kat, what shenanigans have you been up to? You're on the move, right?
I'm in New York.
How is it?
New York City.
How's the weather?
Cold.
Is it cold?
Yes.
Really?
Today it got into the 60s, but it had been not even like 50 as the high, and it's going back down the next couple days.
Oh boy.
I didn't pack for this.
Oh boy. Oh
I did not pack for this.
Can you go run, like, get a sweater or something?
Oh yeah. So where I'm staying is on Fort Hamilton, so like the PX and like all that stuff is right here. Okay. So good. And then my office that I'm working in is like a 5-minute walk.
Okay,
because you don't drive around here. No. Well, we've had to drive about, but
because you were crossing boroughs.
Yeah, and it was weird because so we had to coordinate with some other people who were staying kind of in town, miles wise, like 12 miles, right? But how the GPS had us go, so we're in Brooklyn, right? They had us go into Manhattan, like go under the tunnel, go into Manhattan, and then like go parallel up and then come back to go to the other side of Brooklyn.
Yeah. So there is no quick way. So the way to go is either to go over the bridge. It'll take you, but then you're paying money for tolls.
Oh, so that was the other thing is I don't know if she had, my coworker was driving, like, I don't know if she had her settings at like no tolls.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my coworker. Remember we were talking about the game, Karen the game?
Yeah.
It's Karen that I'm working with. And I told her about that. She's like, oh my God, I'll have to go back and listen to that episode. It's like, yeah, you have a game named after you. So funny. Other than that, I saw the Statue of Liberty from a distance.
Oh, you didn't go there?
We will. So like people who work in my little section have got Statue of Liberty on the to-do list and Coney Island.
Okay.
So if we can do other things, great. I'd love to go to the Met and go to the museum and see what exhibits and stuff they have there.
Yeah.
The other thing I saw was there is I don't know if it's at the Met or if it's where it's at, but there's another like exhibit that is a serial killer exhibit.
Ooh.
In Manhattan somewhere.
Okay.
And I saw, algorithms, they know where you are, they follow you, they track you, right? So it popped up on my, like as an ad on my, I think it was Facebook feed or something like that. I was flipping through and I was like, wow, this looks really cool. So I put it out in our little chat. I was like, would you guys be interested in going?
Yeah.
So,
I know there's on South Street, Seaport, there is a museum called the Bodies Museum. And I recommend that. That is beyond.
Oh, is that all the different body parts? Yes, you've told me about that before.
Yeah,
I remember that now. Yeah.
They have dissected like corpses and stuff, and they've extracted like the nervous system, like the craziest thing. Yeah. And just to like see.
It's like seeing inside the body.
Oh my God. It's mind blowing. I told you about they blew up, I think the nervous system or the lungs. They blew it up to show the blood vessels. Yeah. And it was literally the size of the room. Like it looked like a huge red oak.
Could you walk in it?
It's floating in like water. It's preserved. Oh, it's crazy. It's like preserved in like liquid. So you can walk up to the glass, but you can't like walk through it. No, it's not like hologram or anything. It's the real thing.
It's the real thing. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's insane. Wow.
Yeah. The Bodies Museum.
The Bodies Museum. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So and they show you like car accidents. They show you like they even have a body with a baby. Mm. I know. Like these are people that passed away that donated their bodies to science. So like it's just it's very morose. Yeah. But super freaking interesting.
Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah. I would like that.
And after you go to the museum, you're on the pier, the best restaurants, and you're on the water. Yeah, it's the best restaurants.
What borough?
Manhattan.
It's in Manhattan. Okay.
Yeah, South Side Seaport.
The seaport. Okay.
I'll send it to you in Messenger.
Okay.
So you have it.
So been here a little over a week. It's been really busy working, so we haven't really had a chance unless we're kind of doing something for like to go out. I will be going to Providence, Rhode Island for about 5 days.
Gorgeous.
It was when
Mm-hmm.
like last time or one of the last times when I was I think I was in Arlington and we went to Boston. I don't know if you remember that. And then
Yeah.
last year when I was in Indiana, I went to Pittsburgh and then we
Mm-hmm.
came back. So
Yeah, Boston is beautiful. I love
Boston is
Boston.
beautiful. I would like to go
Personally,
back.
listen, I love New York. It always has a place in my heart. But when you talk about like just clean and organized, like Boston's
Yeah,
so much better. Like,
this is true. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
even they say that about Chicago, like the
Hmm.
city,
Hmm.
that they have alleyways, the garbage isn't kind of displayed on the street. So
Yeah. You want to
but
know something so funny? As we were driving through, I kept thinking of American Psycho and Patrick Bateman in all the shenanigans that he was like, he would be like walking down the alleyway right there and then just like stab a homeless guy, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, it's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. So let's see, really, other than trying to get adjusted and sleep, I've started part one of my final capstone for school.
Nice.
And I brought this book with me to read for leisure.
Here it is.
Stephen
Oh,
King's Skeleton Crew. It's a story collection book.
hmm.
You see how thick this sucker is.
Yeah, yeah.
But I bought it last year and I have
Hmm.
not read it yet. So I've been meaning to go and I thought, maybe I'll start reading before going to sleep or something like that. So I read the curriculum for this first part of my final capstone, and it's actually going to be coming in handy because we have to read 3 stories that are in like the same genre, the same type to support
Hmm.
our capstone, in which you have an option to write. It's not going to be a full novel, but maybe a novel, a novella, or a short story collection. In this class, the first part has to be between like 10 and 15,000 words. The final has to be 30 to 35,000 words. So in my next
Wow.
term, but
Hmm.
it's like the part one, you start it all here and then you finish it next term.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad I
A lot
brought
of
it.
writing.
No, it is a lot of writing. I am going to do my witch story that I told you about.
The White Witch?
No, 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 no. Last year, I think I found out that like I'm related to distant relations
Oh,
to
yes.
a Mary Easty who was burned at the stake during the
Hmm.
Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
I tied that into a story concept that I had for a different class,
Hmm.
and I'm actually going to build that into a novella. That's my plan.
Nice. Very nice. That's
So
interesting.
really
Love it.
excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
You're gonna have to go on Ancestry and kind of like trace back your roots.
I have. And anytime, so the thing with Ancestry DNA, like when it pops up and it says, did you know you're related to this person? Like I have a distant relation to Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. Like things like that. There's another,
Hmm.
I can't think of her name, but and this one makes total sense, but the women's suffrage movement from upstate New York, because in Seneca Falls, well, I was born outside there because Seneca Falls didn't have a hospital at the time. So, but
Hmm.
we lived in Seneca Falls. But Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who was one of the huge women's suffrage movement, they had their very first women's suffrage like conference thing in Seneca Falls, New York in
Hmm.
the late 1800s. So
Hmm.
the fact that I would also be related to somebody who is in that movement, a
Right.
female, that I'm like, well, that would
Very
make sense
cool.
because that's where my ancestors came from. Like we landed in New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
We,
Very cool.
some of them have them like landing in the city, like maybe checking in through the immigrations office at Ellis
Well,
Island,
they had to. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
only port.
Yeah. And then from there, they just
Hmm.
moved upstate. So,
Yes. I don't know if you know this, but it was yesterday or today. The lady that modeled for Rosie the Riveter
oh,
died
yeah.
at
Yeah.
101.
Yeah, I did see something on that she had
Yeah.
passed away. Yeah.
101.
Go
God
girl.
bless her.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, my granny just turned 90.
Oh, when?
So,
Recently?
beginning of the month, she
Oh,
turned
happy
90.
birthday.
So she had and unfortunately I was on the way here, but so I was not able to go, but they did have a big birthday party for her. So
Nice.
they didn't do it on her birthday because her birthday was like in the middle of the week, but I called her on her birthday and then I called her when
Hmm.
they had the birthday party. So yeah,
Hmm. Very nice.
yeah. And she's healthy.
Good.
She's great. I'm like, man, I've always said this. I want your genes, Grandma.
You have her genes, and age is just a number. It's
Oh, I
just a
know.
number.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Anything going on with you?
The only thing I have done lately, I started, like I told you, I started riding again,
Yes.
horses.
Yeah. Riding
So,
horses.
yeah, I used to be an equestrian. I was semi-pro at one point. So, getting back on, I'm fine, but it's just like the muscles I need to build up.
Hmm.
It's been about
Hmm.
20 years. So, the
Yeah.
horse is being very patient with me. Got it.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really much else. I'm lost in the world of when I do have time, I'm lost in the world of the new game that is like sold so, like, I was close to 6 million copies in less than a month,
Oh,
called Crimson Desert. It's insane. It's,
it's good.
it's insane. Like, it's an open world.
Hmm.
It's open world means like, it's like, you and I walking around Earth. Like it's the
Right.
same concept where there's no limits. It's just a continual map, you know? But yeah, it sold like 6 million copies and people are just, I mean, it's a great game.
My
So, but
God.
that's about it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it.
That's
Nothing
crazy.
too interesting. I am in pain though. My legs are killing me, but I'm good.
Yeah.
It's all bad. It's a good
You'll,
pain. It's good
your
pain.
muscles will remember. Your muscles will
Yes.
remember. They'll come back. Yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna like, stop.
I
Leave me
started,
alone.
I went to the gym for the first time in a year and a half because
Has it been that long?
for my surgery. Well, I stopped before my surgery, and everything. Yeah.
Right.
As it had been about a year and a half,
Wow.
and I was hurting, but it's starting to
Yeah.
get better, and I'm
Okay,
still
good.
going. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I know who you're doing your story
Hmm.
about today. I mean, if
Hmm.
you don't know who that is something wrong with you. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear the story because he was I mean, my brother was into karate, so
Hmm.
he had posters of him all over the wall. So, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you asked me to do a intro about like famous murders or suicides or deaths.
Yeah, like mysterious deaths
Yeah.
when celebrities die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just real quick because that's kind of the flavor of
Yeah.
today's story.
You said I could mention him, but I decided not to. I
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
I wanted to hear it from you. So I did
Okay.
mention a couple of people. So here's the intro. Fame has a way of making death complicated.
Mm,
For most people, when someone dies, there's an answer and people accept it. When it's a celebrity who dies, the answer rarely feels enough. News articles get pumped out, commentators add different spins, sometimes not
mhm.
necessarily based in reality. And
Yes.
then facts slowly come out, usually a little too late, allowing some of these theories to take root in people's opinions.
Oh yeah.
And with all these elements, it's a perfect storm for some questions to start. I mean, I think all celebrity deaths are like this. It's like,
Well, I mean, their
it's
life
crazy.
is under a magnifying glass. So it's
Right.
like anything that
Yeah.
they do or and the
Hmm.
slightest little thing can blow up,
Right.
especially nowadays.
Conspiracies, all this
Oh yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So let's take the first one, Marilyn Monroe. Now, we had
Oh,
a two-part episode on that where we wore fabulous wigs.
we sure did.
Her death was ruled suicide from an overdose.
Mm,
Simple, right?
mm,
Not really. Some
yeah.
reports didn't match up. People argued over who got to her house first
Hmm.
and what the room actually looked like. So, like, people were just confused. Was anything moved? Did something look suspicious? I don't think
Right.
people were getting the answers to the questions that they were asking.
Right. Yeah.
So, even her personal diary was said to be missing at the time, adding in her connections to powerful people. And suddenly people started wondering if the full story was ever truly told. Now, you went into detail about this, and
Yeah.
there are conspiracies that are wild in her
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So the next one, late great Elvis Presley, if you believe
Oh,
he
yeah.
died. I think he's in Florida. But anyway.
Still though?
Well, how old would he be? 90s?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't
He
be.
was in his 40s when he died, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But
I don't
I
have
want to,
Alexa. I don't have Alexa here to ask.
Elvis Presley, 42 when he
Yeah.
died.
Yeah. On the toilet. Poor guy.
Yeah, so he was born in 1935.
Okay, so he'd be, yeah. My grandma, who just turned 90, was born in 1936.
There you go. So he
So
is
be
like the
91.
perfect, age to be in Florida. I mean, that's basically the average census here is around that age. So anyway, so
I would love to see an age progression picture of him.
mm,
Just
yeah.
curious.
I mean, if he slipped out and lived a peaceful life someplace else, okay. I don't know what possessed a person to do that, but he also had to watch his daughter die
Yeah.
and
Oh
his
God, yeah.
grandkid. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Be tough.
Bless. Yeah, that's a curse in a way. So officially he died from heart problems, but
Mm-hmm.
behind that, he had been taking a lot of prescription drugs
Mm-hmm.
legally. Doctors were giving him all this stuff. And parts of his autopsy were kept sealed for years, which made
Yeah.
people suspicious, rightfully so.
But yeah.
Now, even now, the upstairs room, his bedroom, is
Mm-hmm.
still off limits. People have said, like to the people, the small group of people that have gone inside, and usually it's like presidents that'll visit the room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And everybody says, like,
Like
it's
Graceland?
literally kept, yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
kept in the same condition it was back then.
Wow.
It never changed. So, like, yeah, that just adds to the mystery,
Yeah.
It kept it alive. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. Another one that broke my heart, and I'll always remember where I was when it happened. Princess Diana.
Oh, same. Yeah. I will. I will always remember
Where
where
were
I
you
was.
when this happened?
So when I found out about it, I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
Like it might have come across like on like radio stations because it was,
Right.
I don't know, it was the summer of 97, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
97. Yeah.
I was driving to my grandparents' house from Florida. They lived in Virginia at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting there and like watching it on the news. Yeah.
I was on vacation. I was
Oh,
at LBI, Long Beach Island,
oh,
with a
um,
group of my friends.
mm-hmm,
We rented out an entire house on the
mm-hmm,
beach, like a huge house, and we had about 10 people. And we were just doing the normal, like party where like had card games going on. We had people
mm-hmm.
and I remember everything came to a crashing halt, like everything.
Yeah.
And everybody was in the living room watching it on TV. And people were just like, no, she's not dead. No, like people could not believe.
That's impossible. Yeah.
Right. Not Diana.
Yeah.
It was tragic.
Very much so.
A car crash in Paris blamed on a drunk driver and a chasing paparazzi.
Mm-hmm.
But people still ask questions. Why did it take so long for her to get to the hospital? Some witnesses say that they saw a bright flashing light before the crash. Investigators have tried to clear things up, but not everybody is convinced. Neither am I. I've seen those documentaries and there are questions about just like this. I mean, yes, okay, she was chased down by a paparazzi. Okay.
Yeah.
But her life at that point was taking a drastic turn. She was possibly getting remarried to somebody really powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like there are, if you had questions, they're definitely there. Like,
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. Because all those
Um,
things, like even like when we talked about Lawrence Duggan on the last
mhm.
one, like many things are possible.
Yeah.
Was he
Hmm.
punished? Suicide. Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of variables, and unfortunately, like the only people who are involved with those things are the person who's deceased, or
Yeah.
the other person, if that was a case, who was involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the last case, the case of Natalie Wood, and this one is even more uneasy.
Oh yes.
So she drowned during a trip on a yacht with her
Yeah.
husband and co-star. And you know who this co-star was?
Robert Wagner, right?
With him and
And yes.
the one that does cowbell,
Yes.
Christopher Walking.
Yes. His name was escaping me. Right? Yes. And I could picture it. Yeah. I forgot. But yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He was very young at the time, but he
Mm-hmm.
knows more. Don't tell me he doesn't know more. He knows
Mm-hmm.
more. At first, it was called an accident. For
Yeah.
years, the case was opened and reopened, people, because
Yep.
there was new information. The cause of her death was changed to include unknown factors because there were so many questions.
Yeah.
There were bruises on her body.
Right.
The stories from people on that boat that night fully didn't match up. And then witnesses even changed their story years later, saying that they left stuff out on purpose, which made
Yeah.
the whole thing even worse.
Yeah.
And then you start to look at people like Christopher Walken and you're like, you know something.
Yeah.
Maybe you just, you were like given a choice, like keep your mouth shut and you will have an easy time in Hollywood
Mm.
or say
Yeah.
something and destroy your entire career. I don't know. I don't
Right.
know. But there is something very suspicious there. And at the time, it's not like he was an older guy. He was in his 20s. So,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
They covered that on BuzzFeed Unsolved as well on
yeah,
one of their episodes. Yeah.
it's crazy. And what keeps happening in cases like these, it's not always that there's no answer. It's that the answer doesn't feel complete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because when someone seems larger than life, people don't expect them to have an ordinary ending. So
Yeah.
that's my intro
Thank
for
you.
your case today.
Yeah. And this story also may just have an ordinary ending.
Hmm?
We'll see.
Okay.
So today's case is one of the most famous unexplained celebrity deaths amongst the list that Natalie just went over.
Hmm.
And this is a man who changed martial arts forever, revolutionized action cinema, and became an icon across the world, then died suddenly, just at 32 years old on
Yeah.
July 20th, 1973.
Oh,
No stabbing, no gunshot, no overdose confirmed, no obvious murder, just a headache, a nap, and chaos.
yeah.
So today we're talking about the mysterious death of Bruce Lee. And depending on who you ask, Bruce Lee died from painkillers, cannabis, heat stroke, water intoxication, a jealous lover, organized crime, retaliation, family curse,
Mhm.
or a combination of any of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this story has everything: superstition, secrecy, celebrity pressure, conflicting timelines, medical confusion, and one very suspicious delay in calling an ambulance.
Mm.
So grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your tonic water, and let's get into it. Before we get into the death, we need to understand the legend. Bruce
Hmm.
Lee. He was born in San Francisco in 1940, raised in Hong Kong, and became one of the most influential martial artists in modern history. And he wasn't just an actor, he was a philosopher, an athlete, a teacher, and someone who completely transformed how Asian men were portrayed on the screen.
Hmm.
Before Bruce Lee, Hollywood often reduced Asian characters to stereotypes. Then Bruce arrived and basically said, nah, absolutely not.
Hmm. Hmm.
He was magnetic. He was fast, charismatic, intense. And people who met him often said that he had this electric energy about him. He trained obsessively. I mean, we're talking like endless workouts, strength
Yeah.
training, flexibility, martial arts drills, diet discipline, and perfectionism.
Hmm.
So by 1973, he was an international superstar, no doubt about it. He was huge in China. And then when he came to Hollywood, he just kind of took that over as well. He had
Hmm.
films like The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, or
Yeah.
Way of the Dragon. And he
Hmm.
was working on a movie, Game of Death, while also preparing for what would become Enter the Dragon. He was
It's a
on
great
the,
movie.
yeah, I've never seen. I mean, I've seen him like in some of his things. I can't say 100% that I've seen like one of his movies like start to finish, but I've seen
Really?
it. Yeah, like I'll see it and be like, oh, that's Bruce Lee, and just kind of watch it for. But
Growing up, these movies would just pop up on TV and
yeah,
we'd
yeah,
have it always playing in the background. And like I said before, my brother is a huge fan
yeah.
of him. And I remember when there's one move that actually Jackie Chan came out with a movie later on. It's called Drunken Monkey or Drunk Monkey or something.
Yeah.
That was a move that Bruce Lee like just made up. And it
Mhm.
was, I think
Well,
it was Enter the Dragon.
he made up his own form of martial art.
Did he? Oh, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
he
Okay.
coined his own, and I can't pronounce it, but I want to say it's like JDO or something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was on the verge of being like globally untouchable. And then July 20th, everything happened. So let's walk through Bruce Lee's final known day. That afternoon, Bruce reportedly met with producer Raymond Chow in Hong Kong to discuss upcoming film projects. Later, the two went to the apartment of an actress, Betty Ting Pai, and right there is when the mystery begins. Officially, they were discussing script ideas for Game of Death. Unofficially, rumors swirled for decades that Bruce and Betty were having an affair. They were romantically involved. Now, we need to be fair here. The rumor is not fact. We know this. People love to stir the pot, right? But the secrecy around the apartment visit made people really suspicious, like immediately. Like, oh, have you ever heard the term perception is reality?
Yes.
Yes. So I think that's what happens a lot in these times. Like what it's perceived to be. Oh, well, I know what you're doing, you know? That's where shit starts. Well, anyways, at Betty's apartment at some point in that evening, Bruce complained of having a headache. Betty reportedly gave him an Equagestic tablet, which is a Chinese like prescription store aspirin type of
An
thing. But it's
over-the-counter headache
yeah,
medicine. Okay.
but it has aspirin and then a tranquilizer ingredient in it.
Oh, okay.
And then
Okay.
Bruce like, I'm gonna go lay down, but he never woke up. Hours passed, not hours, before Raymond or Betty checked on him.
What? What were they doing?
Well, that's the mystery.
Okay.
Raymond later said attempts to wake him were made, but when that failed, a doctor was called to the apartment. But this is one of the most criticized moments in that case because many people ask, why call a doctor privately first instead of immediately calling like emergency services? You know?
Right. Well, maybe they did. Maybe the affair was true, and they didn't want to make it. They wanted to avoid the paparazzi.
Well, get into some of those theories.
Oh my God. Okay.
So by the time Bruce reached the hospital, he was pronounced dead. He was 32, as I
Oh
mentioned.
boy.
Now imagine being one of the biggest stars around the world in your final hours becoming a puzzle that no one can solve.
Hmm.
So the official explanation. The autopsy found cerebral edema, swelling in the brain. That's what actually killed him.
Okay.
His brain weighed significantly more than a normal brain due to that fluid accumulation. If you think about it, like when the brain swells, your skull is around, there's nowhere, it can't go anywhere. It can't swell, right?
Right.
So the official cause of death at the time was listed as hypersensitivity to the Equagesic, that medication, that he had some
Oh,
sort of like allergic reaction to it. And
okay.
basically, whatever painkiller that Betty had given him, he was allergic to.
Mm-hmm.
But almost immediately, people started to question this official, narrative because Bruce had reportedly taken a similar medication before. And guess what? He had no
Mm-hmm.
reaction to it. So people were like, they felt wildly unsatisfied that this man who was in this elite physical condition had taken this medication before, like just dropped, right? So although appearances can be deceiving, as far as his physical condition. But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, a six pack doesn't always mean invincible organs,
Right.
right?
Right.
It looks good on the outside, but that doesn't matter what's going on the inside, right? So let's talk about the angle that fueled tabloids for decades. Why was Bruce Lee at Betty Ting Pai's apartment? If it was innocent, why did the details reportedly emerge like slowly and kind of inconsistently,
Mm-hmm.
like you were
Yeah.
mentioning about like Natalie Wood, right?
Yeah.
So some conspiracy theorists believe that the truth was covered up to protect Bruce's image, Betty's
Mm-hmm.
reputation, and film business interests as well.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. And others also speculated drugs, sex, foul play, accidental injury, even.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I mean, he's a brand, and he's
No,
a brand
absolutely.
coming
Yeah.
from a country that's like they want to preserve his image. He's
Yes.
affected so many millions of people around the world. I mean,
Yeah.
his reach was all over the place. So I could definitely see them doing that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's been no credible evidence that had ever confirmed murder,
Hmm.
but secrecy creates oxygen for rumors to breathe, right? So when people
Hmm.
don't trust the timeline, they start inventing their own, filling in their own gaps, right?
Hmm.
Even today, many people focus less on how Bruce died medically and more so on whether or not those around him delayed getting him help because they feared a scandal.
Hmm.
And that's a powerful distinction because sometimes a mystery survives not because it's hiding a murder, but because of human panic. Like,
Yeah.
we got to find out really what happens.
Yeah.
And years later, another theory gained some attention through biographer Matthew Polly, and this one is fascinating. According to this theory, Bruce had surgery months earlier to remove sweat glands from his armpits because he didn't like seeing visibly the sweat while he was on camera. He didn't like the glistening. He didn't like to sparkle. So
Wait, that's
he had some
bad,
of his sweat glands removed. Not all of them.
but that's still bad. You gotta
Yeah.
sweat. Oh my God.
Well,
And this
a
is 1973. 70s were wild. You don't know what kind of
wild,
medical
man.
attention you got. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, and this sounds incredibly Hollywood, right? People do things
Yeah.
for crazy reasons, but the
Mm-hmm.
argument is that on the day that Bruce died, Hong Kong was extremely hot, and he was in Hong Kong at the time.
Right.
And if his body's cooling system was impaired, and if he was already dehydrated, exhausted, overtrained, stressed, he may
Yeah.
have suffered a heat stroke.
Yeah.
And heat stroke can cause brain swelling, which aligns with the cerebral edema finding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now critics note that removing underarm sweat glands does not eliminate all sweating. Humans
Mm-hmm.
cool in many different ways. So this
Sure.
may not be a full explanation, but if you combine that with exertion, weight loss stress, environmental heat, it
Mm-hmm.
could be more plausible.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny that you're mentioning this because I just watched a YouTube series on weird ways that people die. And there was a marathon. It was like in Italy somewhere, but there was like a group of elite runners that always used pig fat on their skin. So back then, this is back in like the 30s or the 40s,
Yeah.
pig fat before we knew SPF, things like
Mm-hmm.
things like that. They treated pig fat as a way to keep the skin moisturized while you were running to keep liquids inside your body. But what it actually
Oh.
did is it prevented you from sweating.
So people were
So
overheating?
they all died. Like
Yeah.
eight people. Just
Yeah.
they were running, running, running. And so happened to be like the hottest day of the year. That day was strangely hot. And then they all they all died
Oh
on the
my
road
God.
while they were running. That's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes deaths don't come from like one dramatic cause.
I
Sometimes
know.
they can come from maybe five manageable things kind of all stacking on top
True.
of each other.
True.
In 2022, researchers proposed a new theory.
Mm.
Bruce Lee may have died from hyponatremia, which
Okay.
means dangerously low sodium levels in the blood, often caused by consuming too much water when the body can't properly excrete it. He
Wow.
drank too much water. He had water intoxication. Too
Yeah.
much water can kill you. So symptoms can include confusion, headache, nausea, seizures, swelling of the brain, coma, and yes, death.
Yes. Yep.
So researchers pointed to reports that Bruce consumed large amounts of liquids, juices, had a very unusual diet, and may have used cannabis, which can increase thirst, so it makes him drink
Hmm.
more.
Yeah.
Some accounts also suggest that he had previous episodes of a collapse, which raises the possibility that his body was already struggling with regulating the fluids in his body.
Wow.
So then comes a haunting theory, and his most famous phrase, quote unquote, be water, my friend.
Oh, wow.
And when he says that in the martial arts, it talks about like the fluidity and the peace and, the
Right.
calmness and like just be water.
Yeah. Wow.
And water is what might have actually killed him.
Hmm.
It almost sounds too poetic to be true, which is exactly why people remember it. Now let's go where every celebrity mystery eventually goes, the supernatural aisle. The Lee family curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some legends claim that Bruce's father angered spirits. Others say Bruce's home had bad feng shui. Some said fame itself invited misfortune.
Okay.
Then 20 years later, Bruce's son, Brandon Lee, tragically
Mhm.
died on the set of The Crow after a prop gun accident. And for many people, that sealed the myth.
Yeah.
Two talented men, two early deaths, both linked to
Yeah.
filmmaking.
Wow. I remember
Now,
that death too. Do you remember that
oh,
death?
yes, of course, I do. I sure do. Yeah.
I think it was hard because not everybody knew who Brandon was or like
Mm,
what he looked like. A lot of people knew of him and were
yeah.
excited for the movie to come out.
Right.
And that happened. We were denied like just
Mm-hmm.
seeing him on the screen. So when
Yeah.
they did that whole thing with him, I'm like, oh my God,
Did you ever see The Crow remake with Bill Skarsgård?
I did.
And?
Mm, no,
No.
I'm an old G.
Yeah.
I like the original.
I actually, it wasn't maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, I watched the original Crow again because it'd been so long
Yeah.
since I'd seen it. Yeah. So with this, Grief often creates mythology, and curses are sometimes stories that we tell when randomness feels too much for us to bear.
Yeah.
And one thing many modern researchers do agree on is Bruce Lee may not have been as physically stable as the public believed.
Oh.
He had reportedly lost weight, was under intense pressure, trained relentlessly, worked constantly, used supplements and possibly substances common in fitness circles,
Yeah.
steroids.
Yeah.
He was navigating fame, business conflicts, personal stress. In other words, he may have looked superhuman while also living a very human life with human limits.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens with a lot of icons. They
Yeah.
mistake discipline for immunity. So, okay, Nat, if you had to pick the most likely explanation, what would
Mm.
it be?
I think that you made a clear, like you made a very interesting point with his prior surgery. And just
Mm-hmm.
because probably because I just watched that YouTube video, like that makes sense to me because
Sure.
when you mess
Yeah.
up your body's way of regulating anything,
Yes.
you can really mess like, and like years ago when I was working in New York at like one of the like halfway houses,
Mm-hmm.
we had a situation with what did you call it? The
Oh, yeah. It's
hypotremia, hippo.
hyponatremia. Mm-hmm.
So we had somebody that's what happened. So they drank out of the blue. Like they were sitting in the waiting room and they drank 3 2-liter bottles of soda, like back
Oh,
to
my
back.
God.
It was crazy. But we
Wow.
couldn't stop him. Like he's a big grown man and he was
Yeah.
just like he wasn't really causing any problems. We were just like,
Right.
what is he doing? And nobody expected anything to happen after that. Within 5 minutes, he dropped to the floor and had probably the worst seizure I've ever seen in my
Oh,
life.
my
And I've seen a
gosh.
bunch and
Yeah.
was so violent. His body was almost trying to get
Yeah.
rid of the soda.
Yeah.
So it was just really, and then that's what he was rushed to the hospital. He was fine. He was later
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
But that was I remember you just triggered a memory. I'm like, oh, that was the diagnostic. It was bad. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think when you mess with, I don't know, there could be it's really
Unless there's,
plausible to say that that surgery may have had some
yeah.
effects on,
Unless the surgery is required for like if you have a defect, right? There's some
yeah.
kind of defect with a system, one of your systems or something that's not operating the way that it should. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that surgery to fix said defect is a risk.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't always
Well,
fix it. But I mean, I can't say that he just didn't like
yeah.
the way how much he sweat. I mean,
And
who likes
also,
it?
no, nobody likes to sweat. I hate to sweat. And like my husband just had his glands taken out, the lymph nodes and the glands
Yeah.
taken out. And he's on a machine every night. He has a machine that goes from like the neck all the way down
Uh-huh.
just to get the buildup of fluid
Oh,
out
sure.
of
Move.
that arm
Yes.
and
Yeah.
going to the other arm because
Yeah. You
yeah,
have to
like it
move
will
it.
cause so
Yeah.
it's very plausible that I think that happened.
Sure.
I do also think that he was I think that he was in an affair with this person.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, holding secrets probably made her more infamous than just saying the truth.
Yeah.
So,
So my theory is probably like a multi-factor event. Like
mhm,
I think it was a combination of things between, I mean, if he was too hydrated, he was
yeah,
overheated, he was with being the hottest day in Hong Kong for that year, like exhausted, not a curse, not murder.
no,
I think his body was just like, whoa, dude, we can't
yeah,
do this. And unfortunately, it is possible that that medication was just like the tip it needed for his body to shut
what a
down.
shame. That's a
Yeah.
shame. Yeah.
Now, maybe also the delayed emergency response worsened whatever was happening in his body.
Hmm.
Even if no one intentionally harmed him, like hesitation can still be fatal.
Yeah.
And panic plus celebrity scandal management, very believable.
Hmm.
So, chatters, we want to hear about you. Make some comments. Let us know. Were people protecting privacy or protecting themselves? Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think
Hmm.
about this series. But
Yeah.
ultimately, Bruce Lee's death still fascinates people because it shattered the illusion of invisibility.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
presented mastery, control, discipline, and when he died, it was in confusion.
Yeah.
And humans hate unanswered endings. We hate them
Hmm.
because especially when it's legends and it's people
Yeah.
like this. So maybe the truth is a little less cinematic than the conspiracy. Maybe Bruce Lee died in the way that many people do, under
Mm-hmm.
stress, warning signs maybe that were missed, help that was delayed, medicine not yet understanding everything, kind of how it works. And the truth
Mm-hmm.
may be a little bit less dramatic, but still tragic.
Yeah.
Now he is buried next to his son, Brandon, at
Oh.
Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle, and his sudden death shocked the world, of course. For more than 50 years, his gravesite stood as a place of peace, remembrance, and unanswered questions. In 2025, his tomb was opened for a simple preservation project. And the world wasn't captivated by the stone or the engineering, it was captivated by the history that was captured inside.
Mm.
Now, inside were carefully preserved personal artifacts, training items, including nunchucks that he used in his movies, family mementos. One of them was from his wife, Linda. One of them was to his wife, Linda,
Mm.
to his kids. And then there were reflections. There was a lot of also like Chinese, kind of Chinese
Like cultural things.
cultural things that were that. And honestly, I think a lot of that is, you can watch a video on it, not
Mm.
them actually opening it or anything, but you can kind of
Yeah.
see like for 52 years, it looks like he wasn't even buried for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy like how everything was just so preserved.
Wow.
And there was a comment on there too that said like there was no moisture inside the tomb, there were no
Mm.
bugs, like it was
Wow.
just like untouched. Just had been untouched for over 50 years. Crazy.
Right.
So these things that were inside of his tomb were reflections that painted Bruce not just as a legend, but as a man, right? He was
Mm-hmm.
also human. And the
Yeah.
most powerful of all was the reported discovery of a handwritten letter, one that urged future generations to reject imitation, face fear, find your own path, and every detail becomes accepted history or remains part of the mythology. The message feels like very fitting. So his legacy was never really about how he died, it was about how he lived. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what he taught to others. So more than 50
Yeah.
years later, he's still challenging people, adapt, grow, become more than you are yesterday. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not goodbye, it's a call for action.
Yes. Oh my God, I think feel like I'm gonna cry. So yeah, I'm shocked that he wasn't buried where he was born. I guess his wife was
Yeah.
American.
Yes. So
Okay.
he was born in San Francisco. He was raised in Hong Kong. He became who he is in Seattle.
Okay.
And that was his wife's. I watched a video with her on it where she was talking about why he is buried in Seattle and he's not in Hong Kong.
I was gonna say
And
I'm shocked China didn't say like, no, we want our
right,
boy
we
back.
want our man.
You
Yeah.
know?
They do have a
I
huge they have a huge statue that
yeah.
actually on our background, the little statue of Bruce Lee is really
Mm-hmm.
big. I just have it miniature on our background.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Hong Kong.
Is it
Yeah.
good? Wow. It's I don't know. He's touched so many people.
Yeah.
He was just a transformative I wouldn't even call him an actor. He was a total artist.
Yeah. Well, that's why I
Total
was saying it's
artist.
not just like in the beginning, I was like, he wasn't just an actor. He was a teacher,
Yeah.
philosopher. Like he was a inspiration. There was
Yeah.
he was a lot of things.
He
He was
was
pretty
authentic.
fascinating.
He was
Yes.
authentic in
Yeah.
everything he did. And when you watched his movies, that's what you felt. And that's why a lot of kids that watch, like my brother that watched the movies,
Yeah.
automatically said, take me to the dojo. I want to learn how to
Mhm.
move like him or defend
Yeah.
myself. He was
Yeah.
like their version of what a real man is,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it's just so sad. At 32, we lost him,
He's
and
so
he could have
young.
been so
Yeah.
much more. Same thing with his son.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that's also like when you mentioned the other Crow movie, I think that's it too. Because I mean, if you look at the Crow movie
Hmm.
itself, it's
Hmm.
just a tormented lover who, lover dies
It's
and
the
he comes
plot
back.
line. Yeah.
It's not really anything like
Yeah.
elaborate, but having the fact of Brandon that died and
Hmm.
then they kind of did that whole digital. It was so authentic to
Yeah.
see him. He actually passed away. Like he wasn't alive with us anymore.
No, they
So,
were. Yeah, he died during filming.
right. So the
Yeah.
movie was totally authentic of
Yeah.
a somebody who died and is coming back. And
Right.
it just like, I
Oh
think
yeah.
that
Oh my
right
God,
there
that just gave
made,
me chills.
yeah, like that's why I'm
Oh.
such a like a diehard, like original Crow person, because anything anybody else does, it may be good, but it's just strictly Hollywood. Like what he did was just a moment in time that you can't. Some legends should not be. No, you can't. You shouldn't remake some things, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
So wow, thank you for that.
You're welcome. I thought, let me tell you really quick how I came to this story. One of the other things that I have been doing is I have been watching. I have the History Channel on in the background when I'm doing things or whatever. Like it's either History Channel or Forensic Files. Okay, I know I'm a nerd. It's fine, but it fascinates me.
Right.
But I'll catch something, and the other night, actually last week, there was an episode on History's Mysteries. It's hosted by Lawrence Fishburne, a television series on the History Channel. One of the episodes they covered was on Bruce Lee. And I was like, I didn't know this. Like, this is insane. So that's why I was like, and I read more about it, and I read, like I got all the time in the world to do all this, but I did it. Yeah.
Amazing. And I think there is an actor. What's his name? Is it Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
That is very inspired by Bruce Lee, because Jackie Chan also tried to live up to the Bruce Lee legend of not having stunt doubles, like doing everything himself, and he succeeded. And, he's kind of like praised for that, even though it was super dangerous. But Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan is another legend that you can't recreate something like that. It is totally authentic.
Fun fact, not really fun fact. Interesting fact. Actor Steve McQueen was a pallbearer carrying his casket.
Really?
Yeah. They were in a movie. Oh crap! What was the name of the movie? The movie that they were in together. Green Lantern.
I've never seen it.
The original Green Lantern.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Not like the remakes. I think it was the Green Lantern. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Very cool. Thank you for that story.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm going to go look up a documentary on him. It's just somebody, it's a name you don't hear often, but you should. Yeah. You should know the story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we wouldn't dream of leaving you hanging. For more details and twists in this case and many others, check out After That Crime Chat, available exclusively on our Patreon.
Yes, and don't forget to follow us on our socials, Crime Chat with Nat and Kat on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, and Rumble. See what we got going on.
Want more chilling content and behind-the-scenes chaos? Become a VIP chatter to our Patreon. You'll unlock bonus episodes, bloopers, exclusive sneak peeks, and even free merch. And yes, we've got some criminal goodies in the works, so support the show, fuel your obsession with the weird and the wicked, and join the Crime Chat chatter crew in style.
Yes, and be sure to check out our next episode. Is going to be a case update.
Yes.
And then we will pick up our regular season 5 on May 9th.
Right. You don't want to miss it.
We'll see you next time at the Crime Chat. Bye.